in a moment. So today's conversation is particularly close to our hearts. We are here to meet three young women economists, Sıla Çetiner, who's going to be studying her master's at Yale, Ece Haskül, who's going to be studying her master's at Duke, and Nagihan Sude Varol, who's going to be doing her master's in Columbia, each of whom are the recipients of the 2025 Sena Eken Schieber Economics Award. So congratulations to all three of you, first of all. These three brilliant and hardworking economics majors, are from top universities in Turkey, I believe. They'll give us their background in a moment. They share a common dream to make their mark in a discipline that remains male-dominated worldwide. But they also face a shared challenge, high tuition and living expenses in the most prestigious universities in the United States. So this award honors the remarkable legacy of Sena Eken Şiber. She's a trailblazing Turkish economist who broke barriers as the first woman to represent Turkey at the International Monetary Fund. Her life's work embodied both excellence and equity, and this award ensures her legacy continues to uplift future generations of women in economics, which is a wonderful voice to have. So this is more than a scholarship. It is a tribute to excellence, courage, and the pursuit of equity in economic thought and leadership. By easing the financial burden, the award empowers its recipients to focus fully on their education and their future impact. So, without further ado, let's get to know these three rising stars representing the next generation of women economists on the world stage, not just from Turkey. So, I'm going to just throw the ball to Scylla. But the question is the same for all three of you. I mean, we would just like to know a little bit about your academic journey so far. What inspired you to study economics? And why did you decide to continue on this path?
Hello everyone, my name is Sıla. Right now I'm joining from Istanbul, but I'm from Izmir. I was born and raised in Izmir. My family lives there. But I studied in Istanbul. I graduated from Boğaziçi University Business Administration and Management with a double major in economics. And in 2 months' time, I will be studying Masters in Economics at Yale University. And I'm really happy to be here with you today. And what makes me interested in economics is that, to be honest, I initially chose business administration and management, but at that time I was planning to work in finance. But when I took the first year microeconomics and macroeconomics courses, I enjoyed seeing how real world behaviors could be explained through economics models, mathematical
Nice.
models. So I wanted to learn more about those, how consumers and firms make their decisions, or how the resources are allocated, and how all that is modeled. That curiosity let me pursue a double major in economics, and after that I felt I can build a career in economics. So I started to take more and more courses, and over time, the economics became my main focus.
Wonderful, Sela. We're in our next round, we're going to dive deeper into your interest areas and what you're hoping to achieve. I'm going to throw the ball to Ece. Ece, can you tell us a little bit about your background, how you got involved, like what led to, this inspiration or passion for economic studies? What's your story?
Hi everyone, my name is Ece. Today I'm joining from Istanbul, but I'm originally from Ordu, and until studying in Boğaziçi University, I was always raised in Ordu. So I actually, like Sıla, I'm an economics double major. I recently graduated from Boğaziçi University as a sociology and economics double major student. And at first, I also didn't study economics, but I chose sociology as my major for my undergrad studies because I was interested in how the world is shaped and the inequalities in the world. But after studying sociology and taking economics classes, I realized that the same questions that I was interested in could be understood and explained by the economics models and in a more quantitative framework. So that spoke to my heart a bit more than sociology's methods. And that's why I started studying economics as my double major. And from now on and in the future, I want to continue studying economics. So,
So far, 2 out of 2, we have the intersection of business and economics and sociology and economics. Let's see if it's going to be 3 out of 3. I'm curious if Nagihan also is coupling economics with something else or if she's doing pure economics. Nagihan, can we hear from you?
Hi everyone, my name is Nagihan. I originally started studying economics at Boğaziçi University, so I just was purely jumped into studying economics in the first place. I was born and raised in Istanbul, and my family also lives in Istanbul. And I was graduated from Boğaziçi University this June from the economics major, and I also did a minor with business administration and management. And like Sıla, I was while doing my minor, I was like Sıla, I was considering a career in finance, and then that kind of evolved into what I want to actually pursue during my master's studies, which I think I will be talking in the
Next
next
round.
section. During my high school years, I was lucky enough to be surrounded by really intellectually driven people. We would have these in high school, we would have these intellectual debates and conversations with my friends that have led me to be interested in doing a socially oriented studies in my undergrad years. And also, I was really good at math, which that combination directly led me
Yeah.
to study economics. And when I started my journey at Boğaziçi, I immediately realized that I really enjoy the major. I love how it gives me analytical thinking. And also, as I took more and more specialized courses at both at Boğaziçi and both during my exchange semester at Canada, I think I saw the intersection of the field with its real life impact that it can create. So that's why I want to further pursue my studies at Columbia, hopefully this fall.
Wonderful. I mean, when you look at it, so when you think of careers like engineering, for example, it's also a way of thinking, right? Like you said, critical thinking, creative thinking. And I think economics actually does add that same critical and creative thinking perspective to a number of different topics. So it makes a lot of sense to me that there would be an intersection between business, sociology, psychology, even politics. Like you could extrapolate it to so many different arenas. And the world is changing, right? We have AI, we have a whole different field of, AI agents doing work, universal income. Like there's a whole bunch of different topics that are just around the corner. I mean, maybe you will be tackling some of those, maybe you won't be, but it would be really interesting to learn more about your actual interests and future research activities as you're moving into your programs. So let's dive deeper into your intellectual passions. What are like the specific areas of economics that excite you the most? Are there any specific questions or problems that you're kind of hoping to explore during your graduate studies? Um, and do any of you actually think that you'll grow as a scholar in your field, or you'll go back into like the private or the nonprofit sector or even the government sector when you're done? So it's kind of 3 questions in one, but I'm going to throw the ball back to Sila.
Um, yes, actually, my interest is development economics.
Very nice.
I will start with the third question actually, because after my master's, actually, I want to work at an international organization and do some research on development economics.
Beautiful.
I like the field's characteristics, first of all, because it uses a wide range of methods or insights from other fields like public finance, like labor economics, microeconomics. It's super open. And on top of that, I think the topic of how the poorest people live their lives is an important topic, and and I think that's a real world problem. So that's why I will be studying international and development economics at Yale. And my goal is to use what I learned to help people improve public policies, improve people's lives. Um, and right now I'm especially interested in financial inclusion topics. And and I want to work at an international organization or research or project that improve people's lives. But at the same time, I can say I'm also open to uh, pursuing a PhD if my work in research or policy leads me in that direction. I think I will figure it out. But currently, right now, I'm just focused on getting the most out of the master's program at Yale.
Very nice. I also studied development economics, so I love it. It's a great field. We should talk again offline further with all three of you. Actually, it'll be a really fun conversation to dive deeper and deeper. Eja, can we hear from you? What area excites you the most? I mean, what type of questions or problems do you want to explore?
Actually, I mentioned a bit about it in the previous question as well. Like, I'm interested in the social problems or like how the inequalities in the world, and that is what. And I also enjoy econometrics, especially as an like economics specialization. So my research like interests right now are mostly labor economics and applied microeconometrics. And last semester, I also worked with a fellow student to answer the question how fertility affects the uh, returning to labor markets for women in Turkey. So these are the questions I'm mostly interested in, and as well as you mentioned, AI is currently and rapidly changing the labor market. So I'm hoping from the master's and econometrics course that I will be studying during my master's, I will learn tools and from the previous scholars and on how to answer this question and find other questions that are similar to these. And currently, I want to do a PhD following my master's, but of course, the world is rapidly changing, and I'm also like Sıla open to working in international organizations or other positions that I can do research within these topics.
Wonderful. Very exciting. Yeah, let's see. I mean, the whole PhD journey might unfold or unveil itself as you're doing your master's for sure. Nagihan, let's hear from you.
Okay, so to all of your questions, I think I will give a comprehensive answer
Sure.
how I got passionate in what I want to study in the master's and in the future. So like during my educational life, I've been to public educational institutions in Turkey, and also like within the cultural environment I grew up in, I got to see how inequalities that are given to certain groups in the society can uh, give them different paths in life. And that's got me questioning into how economics and how economic research can dive into these topics and how microeconomics focused research policies policy implementations can actually improve the lives of people in an effective way. I am also interested in, as someone living in Turkey, I am also quite interested in policies, macroeconomic policies, and like central banking and all of these policy related topics. I also had to get to have experiences in financial institutions during my undergrad years. So I think during my master's, I will be focusing on specializing in research and being more towards economic policy related topics related to economic policy. And just like Sıla and Ece, I want to try working in international organizations or like NGOs and think tanks. And I might also do a PhD, but I will see if that
Time will
leads
tell.
to it. Yes, yes.
Hopefully, yolun açık olsun. I think it's really exciting. I mean, the master's alone is very, very exciting. If it continues as a PhD, why not? And it would be amazing if you can codify whatever the research at a different level, at a different scale. It'll be really interesting. So, as we wrap up into the third round, we're talking about the impact of the Sena Eken Schreiber Economics Award. So, how did you learn about it? What did receiving the award, how did it affect your plan or your mindset? Um, and I find that there's always a virtuous cycle. Like when somebody really supports you in one way, you can't really pay it back, but you can pay it forward. You know what I mean? So I'm just wondering too, like, how do you hope to give back in the future? So let's on that team topa. Back to you.
Yes, yes. Um, how I have heard about the scholarship. I still do remember the exact day I heard about the scholarship. I was in my third year in management, and that was my first year in double major in economics. The Department of Economics sent an informative email about the scholarship. And I even remember I took a screenshot and I sent it in our friends WhatsApp group. And yeah, then I checked all post awardees, watched all informative webinars. I really how to say, I've been closely following the scholarship until I finally applied. And yeah, I reached out past awardees Dilsu and Sıla in the application process, and they were so helpful and encouraged me a lot. um, yeah, that was how I heard about the scholarship. And how the scholarship affected me, actually, how to say, as a woman studying economics, receiving a scholarship named after Senaiken means a lot to me, because as far as I know, she was the highest ranking Turkish national at the IMF in her time. Knowing that she achieved all those things in a field where women have been historically underrepresented, gives me confidence. And also, when you see someone who looks like you succeeded in the field, it becomes easier to imagine yourself there too. Like, it reminds me that there is space for women at every level of economics, and so that I can high aim high too. So it's really encouraging. Like, that's why, receiving this scholarship means so much to me. I'm not alone. I'm seen, and there is a growing community of women
Community, sure. Yeah.
in economics. Yeah, it makes me feel like I can contribute. I belong here.
That's
So
wonderful. I really like what you said about, seeing somebody that looks like you, that feels like you, makes a lot of your dreams more accessible, right? It's not something that's just really, really far away, a fantasy, but it's something achievable. I think the role model effect is huge in all facets of life. And this is another great example.
yes, yes.
Ece, can we hear from you? I'm going to do another final tour to get your final comments. So I'll come back to you, but let's hear from Ece as well.
Yes, similar to Sıla, I also received an email from our department, and that's how I learned about the scholarship. But actually, at that time, I remember I thought, oh, there's no way I'm gonna be able to get the scholarship. It's not even worth to applying. So it just crossed my mind. But actually, how I get to know the scholarship a bit more is I met with Dilsu, the last year's recipients of the
Yeah.
scholarship by fate, I would say,
Hmm.
because I was meeting with my professor who I was TAing for, teaching assist who I was a teaching assistant of in macroeconomics. And then Dilsu, before going to her journey in Columbia University, also came to visit our professor. And we were just chatting about our future. And I said, I want to do a master's and then a PhD. And my professor said that, oh, also, Dilsu is also going to Colombia with this scholarship. And that day I talked with Dilsu a lot and I got to learn about the scholarship and what it offered a lot more. So that's how I actually got to know the scholarship. And with this experience, I also want to, I think, what this scholarship after named after Stenay Schreiber is not just this financial burden that is not lifted from us, which is very important and very crucial, and on how we are able to get this degrees in US, but also like how someone is also believing in you and your dreams that you can do it. You can go to US and you can work in these organizations, or you can pursue a PhD and study what you're interested in and do some impact in the world. And that's also what she did. So I think that's also the most important part of the scholarship. And that's also, I'm hoping that I will in the future also inspire someone else and encourage them to apply to these scholarships or these programs that are really prestigious and just shoot their shot. Because in a world of male-dominated field and in Turkey, where we're more disadvantages in the financial manner, also we are sometimes discouraged to even try. So I hope that I will give courage to someone to at least try and see that they can do it as well.
That's great. I mean, it really does. It's so much more than just a scholarship. You're absolutely right. It's not, I mean, the financial scholarship is important, but it's that sense of community, that sense of camaraderie. And then now, of course, you guys are going to become ambassadors for the next cohort of applicants. So it's going to be really interesting. Nagihan, can we hear from you too?
Yes, of course. Uh, just like Salah, I also remember the exact moment of seeing the scholarship. It was like first day of my last internship, and I was questioning whether I should like. I was looking at master programs in Europe and UK, and thinking that US was not even a big option for me at the time. And then I saw Dilsu's post on LinkedIn, and I immediately sent it to my sister and I said, I'll give it a try because I think I might have a shot in this. And then I started looking at Senay Kenshiber's story, and I was truly inspired by how she got to do such good things in economics, even in her time as a woman. And I was truly inspired by her story. I also looked at a lot of the paths of the past year awardees, and I was truly inspired by seeing how women with similar backgrounds, just like similar backgrounds like me, achieving their goals and going to overseas to a really far country and making it possible independently. That's got me really inspired. And I also have been I watched past year webinars and I've been to other information sessions, and I've always felt really inspired again by the whole spirit of the community that is emerging in this, thanks to this scholarship. And I hope to, and I think when like application processes and everything can be very stressful and very discouraging from time to time, and seeing any glance of hope in that process can be very helpful. And I hope to be again helpful to others who are considering their studying overseas and in US and other countries as well.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I mean, again, the only way to pay it back is to pay it forward. So I think that's beautiful. We do have a question from the audience. And as you know, we have a live audience with us today, but we're also going to be promoting, it's also being filmed. So we'll be sharing our webinar for many months to come. But there's a question about your philosophy, economic liberalism. First of all, can somebody define it? And then the question is, do we think that economic liberalism is still the best path for sustainable and inclusive growth in today's increasingly unequal and environmentally challenged world? It's a good question. It's a loaded question. I mean, maybe you guys could take a stab at what economic liberalism means from your perspective, what you think it means, and then we can talk about the best path for sustainable and inclusive growth. Who wants to take a stab at it first? Takıldınız. All right, Nagihan, I kept you at the end, but now I'm going to take you to the beginning. I mean, what does economic liberalism mean to you from your path? Or even if you don't want to define economic liberalism, what do you think is the best path for sustainable and inclusive growth? Um, just in general, because the world is going down an increasingly unequal and environmentally challenged world. It's interesting to see if like the old theories and philosophies are still relevant.
I think the old theories and philosophies are kind of going towards a different direction. I think the world is, uh, I mean, the order that is coming from liberalism has been changing, especially that we see in the past few years with the trade wars and with different administrations in the world. And
Mhm.
so the economic systems have been, I think, changing tremendously, and the power balances in the world are also changing from west to maybe east and in
Mhm.
different regions. So I think in that sense, we don't anymore see a world where the world is separated in the west and east, and the power relationship is more on the west. And I think that change, I don't know how it will break. Maybe a different powers in the world will emerge, and maybe they will um, change the economic system into a less liberal. And also, I think that also makes me question whether all the international organizations that we are all consider of working, how it will affect their efficiency in the world as well. Um, so yeah, and also I don't know, I don't really the world in an environmental perspective, the world is going towards a bad scenario. However, I don't think that currently, maybe I'm pessimistic about it, but it will be fully transformed into a positive way in that subject very fast.
Yeah. Who wants to chime in? Ede, your microphone is open, so I'm going to pick on you.
Um, for me, in the current world we're living in, we see the neoliberal paradigm actually collapsing, like Nagihan mentioned. The states are taking more of an active role and bigger space in the economics at sphere. So we see that how the tariffs are increased or the state budgets are increasing for any kind of purposes. So, but even if we're not in the future going to a less neoliberal or liberal economic system, I still don't know if it's gonna be better for the inequalities in the world, because it's not also about how much space the state is taking in the economic system, but how that spending is going towards and who is it going towards. So it
Sure.
doesn't just mean that because the market is not resolving itself or finding the most and best efficient way, as we have all learned
Mhm.
during our economics undergraduate studies. It still doesn't mean the state taking a step and taking a role will fix that. So I don't have,
I mean,
unfortunately,
you can't have an answer, obviously, but
yeah, don't
it's
have the
interesting
answer,
to see.
but I'm just hoping that we will see a more equal world for all aspects, gender aspects, for environmental aspects, for racial aspects, and of course the economics takes a huge part in that because everyone is striving for the economic profit. So
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. Sıla, şimdi sana yükleneceğim. Of course, now you're at the end, but it's interesting because Nagihan and Ece mentioned really important things about how the power dynamics are shifting. Their things are being reconsidered. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be better. It's just going to be different. Um, but really, there's like a whole bunch of other topics that are also affecting these issues. Like we talked about AI, and then, there's this concept of universal income or even longevity, I think is interesting. What used to be the average age of a human, let's say, was 70 years old. Today, it's already 90 years old. In a few years, it's probably going to be like 110, 120 years old. Like things are going to keep changing. Science is going to keep advancing. The population is going to keep growing. So, I mean, just how does this pique your interest and what does this all mean to you?
Um, e- uh, First of all, my answer will be to the first question. I think my friends made good points. Liberalism is not the solution to everything. And since I plan to work on financial inclusion, for example, uh,
Hmm.
on um, on the topics of equal world on and how to say I will explore this further. Yes, and the question to your and answer to your second question is that yes, things are changing rapidly, and actually I took artificial intelligence, financial applications of intelligence courses, for example, in my
Hmm.
last semester. And what I learned there was just amazed me. And actually, I would like to use that knowledge on my master's because actually, for example, I want to work on financial inclusion and the uh, my focus will be the behavioral aspect of the poor people's decision making. And for example, I will utilize those artificial intelligence tools um, other behavioral tools used in social sciences, used in psychology. So I agree with you. Like those uh, rapidly changing attributes of the field that is really motivated me and makes me keep going to study further.
I mean, it's such an interesting time right now that you're all entering this space. You have an opportunity to really come up with some new theories and new perspectives because the world is very, very different. Like if you take where we were, where we're going, what kind of things are going to bridge the understanding of how we share the world and its resources is going to be really interesting. So again, congratulations to all three of you. I hope that you have an amazing journey. Thank you, Sila, Ece, Nagihan, for sharing your dreams, your courage, and your vision with us today. I know that I prompted you a little bit. It wasn't that easy, but it was a really wonderful and robust conversation, which I do hope we can continue offline at some point. But you are the living legacy of Sena Ekan Shaber and a symbol of the future we all hope to build where opportunity is inclusive, economics is equitable, and young women lead boldly. So thank you to everyone who's watching. Thank you for joining us. If you'd like to learn more about the Sena Ekan Shaber Economics Award or how to support it, please visit tpfund.org to learn more. Let's keep investing in the next generation of leaders. From all of us,